The Upkeep. I'm Waffles, together with...
Spirit.
And who else is here?
Why am I here?
You're here, Shadow, because we are going to chat about some critters. What are we doing today, Spirit?
We're doing some critter chat.
Woohoo! And what that is we tell stories about this or that, anything under the sun, basically, right?
Yep, anything under the sea
Everything
as well.
everything under the sea. Oh my goodness. Okay.
So for those that are new, we are the professional.
Non-professionals.
Yep, we make tons of mistakes and we are here to share them today. So come chill with us as we tell stories of cringe and hilarity.
All right. Well, what are we talking about today first, Spirit?
Well. What do we want to open up with first?
I think the first one on our list sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
we did promise you last time that we would tell the story, so...
We did promise, and we made a list.
We did.
Oh, while we were eating lunch.
Yes, exactly. Shocking. We're eating.
Shocking.
All right, so to set the scene, it is right after, was it Thanksgiving?
No, it was July 4th.
All right, right after 4th of July, when mostly everything is closed. We got a little hungry. I know, again,
well, no,
shocking.
But we were also getting something for your mom.
Yes, but we were also hungry. Yeah. We were looking for food. The place we went to was closed, so we found that Burger King was open. We're like, okay, we haven't had Burger King in a while. We'll go. But as we're driving towards the Burger King, something caught Spirit's eye that Shadow and I did not quite see at the beginning. What caught your eye, Spirit?
All right, I should probably set the mood. So we are pulling up into the drive-thru, and Waffles and Shadow are going back and forth in conversation. I forget what they were chatting about.
Who knows?
Shadow was driving.
Someone was driving, but
I'm pretty sure it was Shadow.
It wasn't Spirit. So anyway, something caught my eye, and let's just say I saw a truck pulling in reverse. But hold on, guys, let me say it wasn't just pulling in reverse. There was also movement happening on the truck.
Were they pulling into the drive-thru though?
They were going through the drive-thru backwards, and in that truck were 6 guys dancing pure butt naked. 6
dudes just pure naked in the back of that truck. Those poor workers, just all of a sudden they take an order and then they pull up to the window and a bunch of naked asses in your face.
But it's one of those things that's like, I'm seeing this, and Shadow and Waffles are just like, yay, food! And I'm just watching this display of skinny asses just waving in the breeze.
And I didn't believe him at first because we had accidentally drove past Burger King, I think.
Oh,
and I made Shadow turn around so I could
Shadow didn't have to turn around. He saw in the rearview mirror.
Oh, did he?
He saw the rears in the rearview mirror.
He saw the rears in the rearview mirror. I made him turn around so I could see it because I did not believe it. And yep, a bunch of naked dudes in the back of a truck pulling into Burger King.
And the hilarious thing was they were like, come on, ladies, woo! Yeah, you want, and my thought was, I turned to Waffles and Shadow, I'm like, and this is coming from a gay guy, I'm just like, so these guys are trying to pick up chicks, so they're all like, yeah, you know what will really pick up the girls? And I'm just like, how's this heterosexual? Is there that one guy in the car that's like, hey, you know what's really heterosexual? Let's just take off all
get
our
butt
clothes
naked
and dance and look at each other's junks. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but that sounds pretty gay.
Just a little bit,
really
just
gay.
A little bit. And it's just what's the amazing thing to see. And whenever we tell a story, nobody believes us. And it's just amazing because it's the most insane thing one of the most insane things we've ever seen. And I just feel bad for those workers. They're working on 4th of July. Sucks. At least they get probably double pay. But it's late at night. They just want to go home. And here come a bunch of teenagers. First of all,
they weren't teenagers. They were full-grown drunk men.
Then whatever.
No, they weren't drunk men. They were like 18.
I'm pretty sure they were teenagers.
No, they were definitely teenagers.
I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure they were
under 20, but
they were still drinking. They were still drinking, but they were underage.
No, they looked drunk.
They looked drunk, but I think they were like 18 or 19, like you said, Spirit. And it's just those poor workers. Like if that happened to me, I would just close the window and just goodbye. Not helping you today.
I mean, could you imagine the guy that opens the window and he sees that and he says with a straight face, "Would you like fries with that?"
No. I mean, that was kind of a quick story, but it's one of our favorites that we like to tell people because it's just so unbelievable. And like Spirit said, it's like, who came up with that idea and why the hell did everybody agree?
I mean, the problem though is just like, Yeah, if we were to do stand-up comedy, we would be reenacting this with all the body language. So you have to use your imagination.
So we'd be butt naked on the stage?
Or you have to use your amazing imaginations to picture our dreadful voices on the tail.
And who's naked? Is it me? Is it you?
We'll leave it up to the audience to decide.
All right. We can move on to the next one. This one has a lot of variety. Basically, it's work stories from work. We're not going to tell you where we work, but basically, Spirit and I work at a food place, food establishment, and basically, just to give you guys a little background, we basically, take orders, we clean, we, help set up. We do everything under the sun. And basically, to set up the first story, how about this? We have about 3 items on the menu. We have a hamburger, a cheeseburger, and a double burger or double cheeseburger, and that's it. Yep. And we usually close sometimes. We work from 8 to 2 a.m., right?
We basically do graveyard shifts.
Yeah, and every single night, some guy pulls into the drive-thru, or girl, I guess, and they look at the menu of 3 items, and they're like, I want a cheeseburger, no, a double cheeseburger, and they are just high as a kite. And I'm sorry, if you want to get high, do whatever, right? But first of all, don't drive when you're high. Not safe.
Well, no, but here, if you can't decide what you want on the menu, you shouldn't be driving.
Agreed. But also, it's just, they annoy the hell out of me and Spirit, and it's sitting there, and it's because we're also trying to take payments and give out orders to other people, and we are sitting there stuck, listening to this stoner trying to decide what he's ordering, and it takes 5 minutes of our time when the line just builds up and builds up.
10 minutes.
It's just an annoying amount of time, and they cannot decide between a hamburger, a cheeseburger, or a double cheeseburger. I'm sorry, but if you don't know what you want on your burger, first of all, by the time you're an adult, you got some problems.
Well, but also, we should give some context. As fat guys, if you should know what you want as soon as you get in line.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, you're like,
get out of line!
Get out of line! We're gonna.
How do you live if you don't know what you want? If you don't know what you want on your burger, how do you live?
We're gonna belly bump you out of the way because we are hungry.
Get out of the way, asshole! Oh my gosh! So basically the stoners really get to us. They're really, really annoying.
Welcome viewers.
Welcome.
In.
Basically, everyone jumping in. We're telling stories about work. We work at a food establishment, and we were just talking about how stoners can't decide between our 3 items on the menu.
I like how we present to the new guests. It's like fat guys talking about food in every stream, and now we work at a food establishment. It's like
I don't find that strange for fat dudes.
The stars align.
Yes, I know, right?
Well, for those who don't know, these two work. I'm the muscular one. I work as a first responder and or the medical field.
So you're too afraid to be called fat, gotcha.
No, Shadow.
Correct.
Shadow is the athlete.
Shadow is fit.
But he's not just the athlete, he's the double athlete. He makes up the physical traits we lack.
Yeah.
And together.
He also tries to push us to do more things that are physical, and we're like, we're good.
That's for health-wise and because I care about you. But half the time I have to roll them in.
Yes, correct.
No,
I roll.
No, that's not true. Most of the time he carries us up the stairs.
No. No, but basically, yeah, but there's another annoying thing that happens late at night. The gigglers.
Oh, I should tell this. Okay, and then Waffles can take over.
Yeah, sure.
So, you're trying to catch up on work, and if you're working the drive-thru and you hear, boom, and it's like, hi, how are you? And it's like, hi,
and they literally just cannot stop giggling. They can't say a single word. It's just 3 teenagers giggling, and it's just like, oh my god, place your place your goddamn order. As you can tell, it gets to me because I just started cursing.
It's already been 9 minutes, and you already dropped the F-bomb.
Well,
something
they
about
frustrate the hell out of me.
Something about teenagers just makes us furious.
Honestly, I feel like when we were teenagers, we were not this bad.
No.
But I feel like everyone says that.
What about teenagers you want to expand upon? I know there's a thing you want to expand upon.
Yeah, so if you're a teenager and you come into our store and you ask for a water cup, we know what you're doing. We know what the hell you're doing. You're grabbing soda. So one of my favorite lines that Spirit has said to a teenager is he walked up behind this guy and saw his Coke or whatever in his cup and was like, I'm so sorry your water's brown. Let me take that for you.
I said, I'm so sorry our water's dirty. Let me get you some fresh water for you. And I think the problem is, like, teenagers growing up nowadays are...
They're not told no.
No, but they're not told no, but they have, like, this elitist attitude. Like, they think they're entitled to everything. So when they steal from you, and the look on their face of pure shock when you call them out is priceless.
Yeah, literally the other day, I got so frustrated. I literally walked up to the last guy who ordered. I feel bad for him. He was last in line. He grabbed soda, and I went up and I placed my hand on his shoulder. I placed my hand on his shoulder, and I'm like, get water. And so he looked at me like all shocked, like, whoa. And he was like, okay, all right, he grabbed water. And I'm just like, thank you. I saw him looking at me the entire time I was working, waiting to sneak and grab soda. And I'm like, I got my eye on you. You ain't going nowhere.
It's kind of funny because Waffles and I were discussing this when we were getting food from another certain establishment with golden arches. And we were waiting for our food. We had soda, and we saw this teenager grab a water cup, and we saw him steal soda, and we saw his brother approaching it, and I was just like, and Waffles can tell you, my passive aggressiveness came in. It's like, man, how bad do you have to be where you just ask for a water cup and steal soda? You know, that's kind of pitiful and poor. Just pay for the damn thing. It only costs you $1.
No, it's not that they're poor. It's that they think they can get away with it. They think there's no problem. They don't think there's anything wrong with it.
It's kind of sad. It's like, really? You think it's like worth stealing just soda? It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're going to go to jail for, shoplifting.
Commit a big crime.
Do something worthwhile.
You gotta, like, oh God, you gotta steal all the fast food places in one go.
Just SpongeBob, go into the vault like Squidward and eat all the burgers.
You gotta steal them all, like the buildings and everything, Despicable Me style. Go big or go home.
Go big or go home. Or just go big.
Or just go big. Going big is nice.
Let's see. Another one is, so we do clean up, after people. And I thought I might have been a messy eater. I drop everything once in a while. I might every once in a while get a drop of ketchup or ranch on my shirt.
No way.
And I thought I was an animal. And then I literally go to pick up after some people. And they have not only dropped everything they ate on the floor. Literally, all the fries are on the floor, half their burgers on the floor. But on top of the table, they have somehow not only spilt condiments, ketchup, whatever, they have smeared it across the entire table. And it is just disgusting. And it's like, are you not ashamed of how messy you are?
Well,
you're a freaking animal.
Well, let's ask the viewers. I mean, when you eat at an establishment, is your objective like, I don't want to see a single speck of the surface of this table before I leave?
I'm basically their attitude.
I'm curious because Waffles can tell you there was, I forget what holiday it was, but I think maybe it was like Christmas Eve. And I came in and there was someone decided to take the entire condiments that we had out there and just the entire table was covered.
Mm-hmm.
I was not happy.
No, I was not happy either.
I was ready to throw teenager out.
Oh yeah, kick their asses. And another one, we're along the same line as dirty, because I'm just sorry, just like if you eat that way, right? It's mostly teenagers, to be fair, who eat that way. But I have seen some adults leave messes like that, to be fair.
Pause a second, Waffles.
Yes.
I don't understand. What's complicated about take the food, put it in your mouth? What's complicated?
Apparently they miss. I don't know. But the thing is like, if you're a teenager, right, and you eat like that, either A, your parents never taught you how to eat, or you're just an animal.
Did they skip the and the airplane goes in the...
I know, right? Here comes the airplane in the mouth. And then another one that frustrates me is, yes, of course, teenage animals, but when you get the little kids that come in, sure, they're going to make a mess, right? They're going to spill. They're kids, right? That's fine. They spill. That's fine.
They're jumping around.
They're okay.
Pure energy.
However, there are parents who decide to leave their mess all over the table and ripped up papers and stickers all over the floor. Shame on you. Shame.
They're going all Game of Thrones.
Shame. Because, I'm sorry, but if you're a parent, be responsible for your kid. Done. That's it.
He had to vent all that.
I had to vent.
Just record it.
Just pick it up. Pick up after your kids.
I wonder if some of our audience is like, Waffles is scary. No, just give him like a smoothie or something.
Just give me something to eat. I'll be happy. Give me a Snickers bar.
Just a Snickers bar. You are the very definition of that commercial.
I know, right?
You're not you when you eat. You're not you when you're hungry.
That's true. That's true. But yeah, doesn't that frustrate you though, Spirit? Like when the kids just throw things all over the floor, and we have sticker books, and the kids literally will drop the stickers on the floor, and when you try to sweep them up, they're stuck, of course, because they're stickers.
Well, the kids don't impress me the most as the teenagers because the teenagers are more, how to put it, they're aware of their actions.
Oh, hello, welcome. Glad you caught us live.
Yep. You heard Waffles just going
just
at
venting. And Spirit, just to clarify,
yes,
I'm not mad at the children.
No.
I'm mad at the parents who don't pick up after their kids.
No, I don't understand where it's like, hey, Sonny, oh, look, Dad, pick it up. Okay.
I mean, when I was a kid, if I made a mess, my mom would say, go pick that up right now. Like, how about you, Spirit?
I'm gonna kick your ass.
I know, right? I'm gonna beat you.
No, we're joking. We're joking.
Not really. I mean, my father had a wooden paddle that one time I pissed him off so much that he took it off the top of the fridge, slammed it on the counter, broke into jagged pieces, and he still came after me. So, I mean, I don't know if I was joking about that. Just
before everyone asks, we have issues.
just a little bit.
We have issues.
No,
you know, but
Phone call.
Put your phone on silencer.
This is what it's like a movie. Those
Yeah.
ads that play in front of the movies.
The M&M
put your
commercials.
phone on silent.
I'm not paid enough. Okay, moving
We
on.
don't pay you at all.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, those are a lot of stories from our work.
Well, just the tip of the iceberg.
Just a tip, but it was a couple
No,
stories.
just a tip, out
Just
of
a tip.
context.
And that was just about the messy people. We haven't even gone into some of the weird
But
stuff.
let's sidestep.
Sure.
You know what everyone likes to talk about?
What?
Pokemon.
I like Pokemon.
Yeah,
You got to catch them all.
you gotta catch them all. So
Pokemon.
This is a question I have to ask, and our viewers can also pitch in. I want to know what everyone's favorite starters are.
When you say starter, do you mean starters or starter?
I'm saying starters or starters Pokemon, S, plural.
It sure could be the baby version or the adult version. You pick.
I count the entire line.
So you're saying singular.
So
Yes.
if you say Pikachu because of yellow version, I include Raichu.
No, because he can't evolve in the Raichu in that game.
Yeah, I'm still gonna count it because
I
there are
don't. I
Raichu
don't.
fans.
I
There are
don't.
Raichu fans.
It's not a starter. It can't evolve in the Raichu in that game.
Family, then.
I'm including the family. Like if you said Squirtle, I'm gonna include Blastoise.
Oh, I do like me a Squirtle.
So of all Pokemon you can start, no legendaries.
No, we said starter Pokemon.
Starters.
Because there's
The three: the grass, the fire, the water.
There's a reason I'm bringing up this conversation, but first I want to hear what everyone likes.
I always use. Oh, so the hard one. I like all Gen 1, 5, and 7 and Mudkip. Mudkip's sweet. I always use Charmander and immediately bought that $500 magic card. Nice.
Nice.
We like a good Gyarados. That's a sweet one. No, Mudkip, to be fair, ground and water, right?
Yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Side-
Charmander, of course, is a classic.
Side story, since he bought that card. Spirit, tell us what happened. We were 4 and 5 and went to the swap meet. What $500 card you pulled for $1?
Oh, it's not $500 anymore. I should give context. So Shadow Knight, imagine very tiny little spirit in Shadow. Big eyes, big dreams, eyes of wonder, learning about Pokemon for the first time.
Reality hadn't hit them yet.
Yeah, reality has not hit us yet. And I remembered our father, he gave Corey and I enough money each to... Oh, sorry, Shadow. Enough money each to purchase a pack of cards. And then we each bought one. And then, Shadow, I forget which one you pulled.
I pulled the $100 Gyarados and my Venusaur.
And then Spirit, on the other hand, pulled that Charizard, that very coveted Charizard.
And what'd you do with that Charizard? Did you
I didn't do
laminate
anything.
it? Did
No.
you laminate that Charizard and it's
Our
destroyed?
parents decided in
It's
their...
not destroyed.
Our parents decided in
Can't
their
sell
pure
it.
wisdom to laminate our cards to protect them, you know, before card sleeves became a thing. And, well, I still have that Charizard, but it is laminated.
And it's worth $5,000+. It's first edition. It's
But-
we can't untake.
Hold on. This comment's great. This comment's great. Started off as wee lads and ended up kaiju size. Can relate. I love that. Love it.
Love it. So, but backtracking is the reason I'm asking about starters is on one of our trips
To Vegas, probably.
To Vegas, we had these deep conversations about the starters and how they must communicate to each other, because it's just one of those like Charmander, Squirtle, and Bulbasaur. They must all get along. And then Totodile and Cyndaquil and Chikorita, they're like, it's okay, Chikorita. It's not just you. We're just better than you.
They are better than him.
It's
Unfortunately, Meganium just has a problem.
I feel bad for Meganium fans. It's just like Meganium's got
Issues.
green dinosaur,
He's a jolly green giant.
jolly green giant.
And he's not very good now, is he?
No, but the starters hold up a special place in the hearts, and I always find it interesting to discuss with people about the starters because everyone has stories about them. But we can't all deny it's like every time you bring up like the Johto starters, everyone sort of kind of cringes for Chikorita. Everyone.
It's sad, but it's
sad.
true. It's true. And just to let you guys know, I recently on my own, we're playing a Nuzlocke online with everyone, you know, Black and White one, right? I for fun did a Heart Gold and Soul Silver Nuzlocke, and when I failed the game, I had 2 water types on my team. I had a Staryu, and I had a Seaking. And I accidentally ran into the red-haired dude, and he had a Meganium. And unfortunately, that Meganium, that sucks, kicked my ass.
Yeah, all those times you joked about Meganium, and
He got his revenge.
Meganium ended your Nuzlocke.
He did. It was horrible. So upset. Did not finish it.
Chikorita was kind of in the middle. You can make it a physical attacker or a special attacker. It had good defense.
Its defenses was good, but it just didn't hit very hard.
If Chikorita had another typing and more moveset, it would be better. It would be better if it was just a clone Venusaur with poison, or it would be a fairy grass. It would have been better.
But back then, they didn't have fairy.
They didn't.
Then make it grass rock like Credillion. Watch how much it's better.
Yeah, it's a good typing. But, yeah, so basically, we like to talk about random things and, you know, random conversations. Makes the time fly by when you're driving.
And for those that like starting random conversations, we are more happy than to chat with you. If you got questions,
You still
feel free.
didn't answer their questions. What's your favorite?
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Forgot.
Attention spans short.
The two are looking at food as we speak, so they need to pay attention.
Oh my god. People will
Okay.
probably judge me, but
Shadow's classic. He wants his Bulbasaur. Or Venusaur all the way, and then he takes Scorbunny.
The one in my heart is Squirtle. But the one that I love using even to this day, it's not very old, but it's Rillaboom.
Oh, Boom Boom.
so for me, my favorite is Inteleon, but the one I like to use as well because holds a special place in my heart is Incineroar. Before the competitive scene,
No,
before
I see you like powerful Pokemon.
no, Shadow can tell you.
I see.
Because you weren't playing Sun and Moon during the time.
No, I was not.
I wanted a Fire Dark type because I liked Delphox, but it's like it just had too many weaknesses. And then Incineroar came, and Shadow showed me a moveset that not a lot of people knew about. I used the Flame Charge moveset, and then when it got Intimidate, it just made it better.
No way. Intimidate switching.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
For context, Shadow had a beloved Arcanine who was built as a tank, and he had Flame Charge, and he kept winning, and he said, let me make your Incineroar the Flame Charge, and now Mr. Kitty kills everything.
And to you who's making tomato soup, why don't you put some in an envelope and mail it to me?
You need some.
Then that would be your red envelope.
Well, you
and
need
that's
some
different.
garlic. Oh God! Hey, you get that red juicy envelope, and it's like, there is nothing wrong with this mail here.
At all.
No, not gonna freak out the mail person. But Charmander, that is also a classic, and
Yep.
the
Fire Blast, Flamethrower. We prefer Flamethrower here because it has 100% accuracy. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it had 95 in early games, but now it's 100.
But now it's 100.
Yeah.
Whereas Fire Blast had, what, 70?
I just always missed.
I just always missed.
Just like your Sceptile with Focus Blast.
That's a 70% accuracy. You miss a lot.
That is a tale as old as rhyme.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
any more Pokemon stuff you guys want to talk about?
Unless they want to ask. Before anyone wants to know, we are not competitive players, but we play competitive.
We play on the ladder, but I usually play theme teams. Like, all of Scarlet and Violet, I've tried to make Oricorio work with a dancing team. It has gone so. Like, not very well.
Hey, that yellow bird has pushed its hardest to survive.
Correct. Now, see, the special attack version, or the special version of that set, is that you have 2 attacks. You have Petal Dance and you have Fiery Dance. Whereas the physical version got a new one this game with Aqua Step from the... I call him Butt Quack, but his name is Quackable. He got Aqua Step. That's a dancing move. And Oricorio can use that if you use a physical set, but however, there's no other damaging move. You have Swords Dance, you got Dragon's Dance to up your attack, but I'd like to have another physical move that is a dance. So, that'd be sweet. That actually does damage.
It would.
Alright.
And probably those who are keen-eyed that have read Team Earthquake, that's the majority of it is my team.
Yes.
Every time Spirit comes with me to the battle tower, I say, do not bring same types. What does he do? I'm going to bring everything to weaker ground.
No, but they're not the same types. That's the loophole. They're just weak to the
Just
same.
as a spoiler, like in case people are curious about your Team Earthquake, why is it called Team Earthquake?
Because Shadow kept insulting the team because we kept dying to Earthquake.
But for those that are curious about Team Earthquake, it is on hiatus at the moment, and I appreciate those that are patient.
I like a good Mimikyu, and Spirit loves a good Gudra.
Oh, Gudra is interesting.
It's gooey.
Well,
That
no,
it is.
it's like I play support for you guys.
That's true. When we're fighting those raid dens, having that life dew really helps.
And my Gudra is known as Sticky Boy.
Nice. All right. Let's see here.
Boy was not a good name.
No, it's Sticky Boy.
It's Sticky Boy.
Too scared.
All right. Why don't we talk about something that we did a couple years ago? It was late at night on a Friday, if I remember correctly. And we were driving all the way up a street just for fun, late at night, and we saw a sign.
What? The stars were out in the sky?
The stars were out in the sky, and we saw a sign.
Was
And
it
it
aliens?
said, no. What it said was, all you can eat ice cream
Oh!
for $5.99.
Oh, no, hold up. Back up. For everyone here, you probably want to get a drink and some popcorn because prepare yourself because the ending,
This is a classic story.
The ending of this story, I guess Waffles and I will go back and forth, and if Shadow wants to pitch in.
Yeah, of course.
But it's the ending of this story, it's like...
It ends at where we currently work.
Yeah, somehow, this leads to where I work now.
So
context. I want food. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Shadow, fine. I'm going to drive around till you guys figure out what you want. Then, in quotes, it's a beautiful starry night. The moon is out. It's cool. There's a distant breeze. There's deer in the background.
and there's all you can eat ice cream.
And as I cross the street, in the car, I see them two go, it's a sign from the Lord above. All you can eat ice cream.
Well, can you imagine any other beautiful words in the English dictionary other than all you can eat?
No.
Yeah, Chippendales.
No.
No. So let's tell what I did at the ice cream store first because mine's normal. So I go up, I get my bowl, right? I fill it like pretty full all the way to the top, right? And I go and put some toppings on, and then I look to my right. Spirit's coming over to the hot fudge and the toppings. And I look down at his bowl. And oh my god.
No, before that.
No, this is it. This is the first time I noticed it. I literally looked down and his bowl was overflowing with ice cream so much that I looked at him and said, "You're getting toppings too?"
Okay, for context. So, Shadow, would you like to talk about what you were getting during that time?
Shadow got nothing.
Oh, did you now?
You got
Well,
okay, so meanwhile, Spirit here is like, they have banana, sweet. They have strawberry, sweet. And I'm just like getting little ice cream, and then they had
Not little ice cream, lots of ice cream.
Well, I'm mixing it up, and they had caramel. I'm just like I'm spazzing out, belly's jiggling. Anyway, so then I see, oh, they have toppings, and I pretty much filled it with ice cream. But
No, you didn't fill it. It was about a foot over the lid of the rim.
okay, anyway, then I see that they have toppings, and I come up from behind Waffles, and he sees me, and he's like, "You want toppings?"
I'm like,
too?
where are they gonna go? There's no room.
I'm just, and I looked at him, I'm like, "But it's all you can eat for $5.99."
And he's like, I'm getting my money's
So
worth.
here I'm scooping up, and Waffles is shaking his head in disapproval.
And while he's getting toppings, I go and pay for mine. And then after he loads his bowl full of toppings, he walks up to the counter.
No.
Oh, no, not
It
yet.
wasn't.
Not yet.
It was, you were doing your thing, and then you hear thump, 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 slap, and I put this massive mountain down, and the lady's face was just like, holy shit.
My face was holy shit, and I'm a fat dude. I'm fatter than you, and I was like, oh my god.
But her eyes are darting back and forth, and she looks at me, and I can hear her thoughts are like, "Are you sure?" And I'm nodding, and I'm handing her my card, and she's like, "Okay," and I pay for it. But the icing on the cake
This is the best part.
that caught Waffles off guard was I told her, put a lid on it.
I wanted to go. Put a lid on it. And she looks at
she's
it.
like,
She
"What?"
looks at it, and she looks up at him.
We were going places. We were hungry. And I told her, put a lid on it.
And she looks at it, she's like, She was so, like, what do I do?
It wasn't just her. It took 2 people to put this lid on. 2 people. And I'm standing there with the biggest fang-filled grin from ear to ear. And when I grab it, Shadow's just like, he sees this thing, and Waffles is still shaking his head.
And the first thing Shadow says to Spirit is, "That better not fall out in my car."
Oh, but wait, there's more.
Wait, there's more.
So we decide to...
You don't mention no. What they're not saying is, beforehand, before all of this, I'm observing these two, and before Spirit does that, he has his little cup, and he keeps going back and forth, going, I'm like, what are you, Homer Simpson? What are you doing? I'm like, what? His cup is empty. He doesn't realize what he's going to do. He then...
What cup? You want to give him
the
context?
cup of ice cream that you're supposed to fill. There's nothing in there. You have your bowl.
You couldn't decide on a flavor,
You
I
couldn't
guess.
decide
That
what
is
you
true.
want. Then he looks at me and goes, like you said, they have toppings. And like, what? You're going to fill your cup full of toppings? And then it sparked the idea. Then the event happened. Do I regret it? Yes.
Well, so Shadow is driving, and Waffles is eating away all happily.
I finished mine probably about, let's say, be honest, about 2 minutes.
About 2 minutes in the ride. And then I'm getting a little bit jealous because I want to scoop, and Shadow's driving. But the thing is, they were paving the road at the time, so it was a little bit bumpy.
And we were going down a hill.
And we were heading to more food. I know.
Well, no, we were heading to food for Shadow. He wanted some food, some fries, I think.
At our current establishment.
And basically, he decided he was going to go to this food establishment where we work, and we're going down a hill. And
then you hear,
and then all of a sudden, me and Shadow are in the front seat, and Spirit's in the back, and all of a sudden we hear is, uh-oh. And we're like, what?
Because I pulled off that lid so delicately, I scooped it up, and right before it goes in my mouth, they go over a speed bump at full speed, and
all over his pants.
all over.
He was sticky. And
I got
the first
sticky.
time he ever walked into our current work, he was covered in ice cream from head to toe.
Oh. So I walked in all casually, and I see all our now coworkers are staring, and I'm just like, yo. And I go to the bathroom to clean myself off, and one of the managers walks up and is like, what happened? And I already told Waffles I was going to say this if I was asked, and I was like, $5.99, all you can eat ice cream.
He decided to bathe in it.
And it's one of those things where, and then later on, when I was talking to my coworkers, because it's been like maybe like a year or two after that happened, and then when I was telling this story to my coworkers,
did they remember
I heard, wait, that was you? And it's like, well, apparently the legend lives on. All you can. Oh, but that's not the best part of the story.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. I learned I got banned.
Oh yeah, you got banned from that ice cream store.
From the establishment.
His picture's on the wall.
They didn't know my name or anything, but they didn't take my picture. I'm just the
security camera picture.
No, but the put the lid on it guy.
You're the put the lid on it guy.
I'm just the put
just
the lid
like
on
the
it
sign,
guy.
it's like this fat guy got way too much ice cream.
Put the
Not
lid
worth
on
it.
it guy.
Yes, and then when Shadow drove by, it said $5.99, still there, toppings not included.
Yeah. I'm the reason. I'm the reason.
Yes, and Spirit's also the reason there's a stain in my car.
It's the memories.
Oh, it's so funny. Oh my gosh.
It's one of those stories. So, we're gonna take a jump back and ask anyone if you have any questions before we jump to our little next story.
Sure.
Any questions? Anyone wants to know anything about us? Let us know.
Anybody.
The floor is free.
Shadow will be back.
All right,
Shadow is going
goodbye,
to his
Shadow.
office.
Shadow needs to go to the restroom.
That's your office. We
That's
know.
your office.
He's dropping off a resume.
He's
It's okay.
going live.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'm not seeing many questions pop up.
oh,
Oh,
I got
hold
one.
on. What got you?
I
Okay.
personally just like size scale has always just been fun to me, just like growing up. I guess, like for example, like I guess Robin Hood, like you see the size different scales, like Little John and Robin Hood. Other things like growing up, other animations that they have a difference in scale. I've always found that fascinating. So, yeah, what can I say? I'll tell you when you're older, Waffles. I'll tell you
For
when it
those
is when
who
you're
were
older.
who were interested, I just asked, "What is macro?"
I'll tell you when you're older.
Apparently, I'm not old enough. Oh my gosh! All right, well, if you want to explain to me what macro is, I'm reading.
They're just big things.
Questions.
Like Godzilla. Like big stuff.
Let's see. What led you to Grave Lily? I think.
I wasn't. So, for those that are curious, I have written a book series on Amazon called Grave Lily. Problem with Amazon's algorithm is, the more you purchase, the more it'll come up in the searches. So, they like pushing down the little guys. But what led me to Grave Lily was I had finished university and I had an idea, but also I wanted to pitch this to animation studios. And I have shown this, and I decided to write up a chapter, just a one-time thing, just see how when I sent it to my animation professor, and I had never dipped my toes into the horror genre, and I thought getting out of my comfort zone, trying something different, and the feedback I got from my professor after I wrote the first chapter was, where the hell was this during your senior thesis? It's like, you should have graduated with this. So I spent that year actually making an animatic, storyboard. I do have those. I have not shared those with the public because guess who's the guy who had to do all the voice acting, all the drawing, completed in like a span of less than 2 weeks and had 13 hours to edit the whole thing together? This Fox.
Well, that's nothing. When I was in college, my senior thing was sound designing a 5-minute film, and I had 2 days to do the entire thing. So I was there basically 24 hours a day for 2 days, because sound designers, in case you don't know, on films they're the last people to touch it. So and you get the literally no time at all.
You don't. And yes, Waffles and Shadow. I mean, Shadow can speak for himself. I know they're not the biggest fans of horror, but yeah, I'm willing to have a conversation about horror anytime, but I don't want to...
Nope, I'm a coward.
No, but I'm just talking about,
That's why when we played the horror game, we picked a game that's in the genre of horror for cowards. Because I am an admitted coward. I'm a giant, but I'm a gentle giant.
But, I should give some context. I like horror films, horror stories I can listen to, but horror games, oh boy, Waffles can tell you how far through that controller when we were trying Resident Evil 7.
I did sit through that. That was funny.
And you know what's... It wasn't the boss that I ran over multiple times. It was like the first boss, not a spoiler. But I was approaching a hallway and a bouncy ball came out of nowhere and I threw that controller and I was like, nope.
Oh my gosh. No, And then Spirit and our other friend decided they want to get me into horror movies. And so one October, we decided we'll watch one movie a week, or a TV show. It was, I think it was Haunting on Hill's House on Netflix. And basically, we were towards the end, and it's pitch dark in this room, by the way. There's, like, curtains everywhere. It's nighttime. It is darker than dark. All I can see is the screen. And at the exact moment, the biggest jump in the entire series, the jump scare happens. Something black and furry.
Well, but just in mid-conversation.
No, literally, as soon as the guy pokes his head out and scares the hell out of us, this big black furry thing jumps down from somewhere above my head and lands right next to me. And I literally almost shit my pants. I'm just like, I just cursed really loud.
And
it turned out it was our friend's cat. And I was just waiting. It knows I'm allergic to it, and it's like, I'm gonna get you.
That's why Waffles isn't so keen on cats, because of allergies in that moment.
Well, also when I was 5, the first one I ever met scratched me. So, yeah.
Well, when I was little, one attacked me too, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. That was so scary. And, so yeah, that's Spirit is way better with horror than I am. Like he says, he likes to watch horror movies. But I'm okay with, like, Cabin in the Woods horror. Like, that's my level. I'm pretty bad.
You did pretty good with Van Helsing. You've seen Van Helsing.
That was not horror.
Well, it's not horror, but it's classic. It's like horror.
I'd say the best. I'd say the thing that was the scariest thing I watched is Haunting on Hill's House. By the way, that shit was scary. But the level that I'm okay with is Cabin in the Woods
and Luigi's Mansion.
I do like that. Yeah, where the scary stuff's kind of cute.
Horror movies are the perfect date movies. Your mate ends up jumping into your arms. Unless they jump out of the house. Unless
they jump out of their skin and you're left with a pile of bones.
This is a blast from the past. I think it was like one of those scary movies, but it was like Ghost movie or something, where they were spoofing Paranormal Activity, and like the husband like hears the ghost and he just like runs out of the house and gets in the car, and the wife's still sitting in bed and she's like, oh hell no. It's like, yeah, if you watch horror movies and your significant other just leaves you for dead instead of jumping into your arms, that's gonna be an awkward conversation.
If I jumped into someone's arms, I'd squash them.
It's the thought that counts. All right, so let's give them a little more stories before
Hold on, why not try the Netflix show Midnight Mass? It's Stephen King style. But Mike Flanagan does Stephen King better than Stephen King.
I have a problem with that one. For me, massive spoilers, but I'm not gonna say it. But I thought the ending line landed so flat. I thought the concept was really good. And Mike Flanagan, I feel very mixed as a director, because I think he does phenomenal when it goes to horror, like Gerald's Game, Haunting on Hill House, and like the spooky scenes in Midnight Mass. But when he tries like something different, like The Haunting of Bly Manor, when it tripped more into a romance or whatever, I felt like the story was weaker. I understand it wasn't a horror. Like, I wasn't even a
Does
fan.
he write it, or is that the writer's fault?
No, he's behind it.
Is he the director, or is he the writer?
Director and writer.
So he's the writer as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that is his fault.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you can't blame the director for poor writing. That's the writer's job.
No, his cinematography and directing is incredible. But when you get for example, The Midnight Club, I just couldn't get into it. I mean, the concept of kids telling scary stories, so because they're terminally ill, and their whole little pact that they make is like, when you die, give us a sign from the other side to tell us that there's, an afterlife or whatever. Sounds like a neat concept. So they tell scary stories to show that life is worth living. Sure. But it did not go well.
All right. Well, we got a couple more topics. What do we got here?
Let's talk about one of the things that Shadow, Waffles, and Spirit here love are card games. I know, big spoiler.
I know, right?
But we're curious if the chat here has ever gone to a game store or card shop. I guess video game stores can technically fall under the category. But we want to know...
Local game store, basically.
Local game stores. But what we want to know is, because our experience has been game store customer service is usually pretty pathetic.
It's shit.
It's pretty pathetic. And we're very, very curious.
And also the people who work there, no, poker or blackjack, no. We're talking like Pokemon or Magic. We're nerds, in case you didn't know.
We're talking about opening that cardboard crack of what cards am I getting today?
Or as you know, we play, or if you don't know, we play Lorcana. It's the new version of the Disney card game. But basically,
and they made an awesome Pete and Sheriff card, and I'm just shaking with excitement.
Yeah, I know you are. But basically, he secretly somehow designed this set. I'm not sure how he did it, but we go into these card shops, basically, local game stores. There's like several around here, like within the span of like 25, 30 minutes. There's probably like 4, maybe 5. And every one we go into, basically, you walk in, you get in line, no one says hello anymore. That's a lost art. You should greet people when you walk into when someone walks into your store. And they will just, when it's your turn, they'll just sit on their computer, dazing, because they're stoned. You know, smells like weed in there. They're stoned as hell, and they will just sit there staring off into space or on their computer, and we'll just let you sit there. They won't even say, hello, I'll be with you in a second. They won't say, I'll just be a second or anything. They just sit there and ignore you for like 15 minutes till you walk out because you're fucking pissed. And it's like, I'm sorry, but if you work at a game store, it should be fun. I know it's work, but your job is... I don't know. I just feel like it's
Waffles,
not that hard.
We should give them context. This is one of the reasons why it inspired us to create. Temporarily, we made a card, or we were
trying to make a card game store. However, we could not get a wholesale distributor to sell to us.
So we were working off our own wallets.
Oh no, it's okay when you smoke weed. I'm not saying that's not wrong. I'm not saying that's wrong. What I'm saying is that
on the job,
first of all, I guess you have my brother's high when he works, so he gets through it just fine. But if you're stoned to the point where someone's in front of you at the counter and you just ignore them for 15 minutes and they're trying to get your attention and you're just so stoned you can't see them, like maybe you shouldn't be working.
Yeah, we have nothing against those people.
No, and like if you smoke, like whatever, but I'll just let you know right now, like some people appreciate the smell. Me and Spirit thinks it stinks. So and it gives us a headache, you know, but that's to each their own, honestly. To each their own.
I was citing that really old Snoop Dogg song. My memes are straight out of
2001. Nice.
Don't worry.
We're with you.
We're 90s critters.
And no, but basically, like, we don't appreciate walking into a game store and it just smells like skunk and being ignored for 15 minutes to the point where we have to walk out because we're frustrated. They won't pay attention to us.
And also, let's not all blame the owners because there are that one card shop that I have a vendetta with.
All right, which one?
The one with the lady, the very
lady.
She does not like me. So I go on all in, and this was during the time, like, she hates me ever since, like, the Digimon trading card game
yeah.
where I just bought some starter decks, and she got upset that I bought 2 instead of 1, and I was buying for my brother and for Waffles just to give them their own starter decks. She got upset at me. But going forward, Waffles calls because she recognizes my voice. Waffles calls and is like, do you have any Lorcana singles? And it's like, yeah, we do. But there's too much for us to look through, so come on down. We come on down and
oh my
when
God.
we looked at the singles, Waffles, please tell them how many they had.
They had 2.
They had 2.
2 cards.
2 cards.
She literally, over the phone, we drove 25 minutes to get there. And I asked, do you have singles? She's like, yeah, we got a binder full. And I'm like, great, well, come down. Her binder had literally 2 cards. And I looked at her as I'm looking at this binder. And I'm ready to, like, blow my lid. And I luckily keep it in, but I'm just like, I show Spirit. And he's like, wait, that's it? And I'm like, yep. And we walked out storming. And it's the same store as the lady who got mad at Spirit about ordering 2. And then basically we decided we wouldn't shop there again, but we were desperate for some singles and like we need certain cards. And so we drive out of our way, walk into an outdoor mall, you know, huffing and puffing as we walk down the outside street.
Shadow's doing fine.
Shadow's doing fine. And we walk inside and it's like, we're here for those singles. Here you go. You got nothing. And it's just like, what the hell?
But also, reading one of the comments, when they actually greet you, they'll just advertise your subscriptions. At least that's an average modern GameStop visit. It's you die on the inside and out.
And eat.
DS games. Yeah, the DS era. And I agree with you with GameStop. It's like
Well, also, a lot of stores offer you a
stores-
subscription.
But one of the Waffles can tell you, I've had rants before about. I want to know if people feel the same way. Where anytime you go to a store, doesn't matter if it's a fast food place, it's like everyone's got a freaking app. Everyone wants a subscription, and it's just like I just want to come in, pay for the product, and leave. That's all I want to do.
Or we call a game store saying, when are you gonna put this up for sale? They're like, okay, check our Facebook. It's like, why we're on the phone? Just tell me. I've already dropped the F-bomb twice now. All right, just tell us. Like, how hard is it? Join a Discord group. It'll be there. No, just tell me.
And I feel our audience. Yep, we're all old here, but
Yes,
nothing wrong with
Nothing
that.
wrong with that. We all hurt in places we didn't know we could hurt.
We wake up with something hurting.
Always.
Every day. Something new. All right.
And but yeah, basically that's all the games. So except for the one where
Hold on.
There was one more game store where I went inside, and I was talking. There was nobody else inside, and there's 4 employees behind the counter, and I say, I'd like to see if you have a couple cards, and so I tell them that I have about 5 cards I want them to look for. So instead of helping the customer, they say, here's an iPad, put everything in the cart, then I'll look for them. It's like, so while I'm on the iPad, they're just chatting, not doing anything. I'm like, just help the damn customer. I'm sorry. How hard is it?
No, but also it's just like, the cards were literally behind him. It's like, just grab this stack and just pass
No, not
it.
even a stack. They're all alphabetized and color sorted. It's not that freaking hard. And also, it's way easier for you to type on your computer, see if you have it, than for me to peck with my big ass finger on an iPad and hit multiple buttons at the same time.
Yeah, because, technology makes everything better. But we should tell them, Shadow, would you like to tell the story about when we were looking for flesh and blood? When we went to a magical place called Frankenstein's.
Oh Lord.
Basically, it's an old Costco building with a bunch of stuff imported from Japan. Card games, figurines, some really, really weird shit.
All right, so let
first
Shadow
things
tell it.
first, I just got off work, 13-hour shift. I'm feeling fantastic. So I get 1 hour sleep, get a cup of caffeine. We take a 2-hour drive. These two, I'm hungry. Fine, we'll get food. So we go to a hamburger place I do not remember the name of, and right and behold, while we're getting lunch, here comes this cute little child up to the shake machine that Spirit is getting soda next to. She then does not know how it works, so she decides to grab the lever and jiggle it until it starts to shake. Then she yanked and pulled until it snapped, and then
Forgot about that. She broke it.
then put it back on and tried to run away. Shadow saw this, and then saw Spirit go next to it and go, you know what, that looks like a good drink. Before Shadow can say, stop, Spirit yanked it and started
pulled it back
spraying everywhere.
And it's not the first time I've ever been sticky, so.
As we know.
As we know.
So as Spirit and Shadow tried to fix it, luckily the girl was on camera, so we didn't get blamed. So we left. We went to the frankincense. It was about a 2-mile walk. These two were sweating bullets. But as we entered the store, these two said, okay, you go look for Digimon and Pokemon and Magic.
And Buddy Fight.
And Buddy Fight. We will look for Flesh and Blood.
That's a card game, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
So I let these two walk ahead of me while I was admiring the figurines for certain animes I like. But then it started. First, Spirit goes up to the poor vendor and goes, hey, do you sell flesh and blood? The vendor looked at them and said, no.
It was a newer game, not everybody knew it.
Yeah.
And then Waffles went up to this little petite Asian woman and goes, hello, excuse me, do you sell flesh and blood?
The look on
her face. Priceless.
Priceless. We go to the next aisle. Waffles goes up to the next one. Hey, do you have flesh and blood?
Basically, I ask every single person in the entire Costco if they sell Flesh and Blood, without saying it's a card game.
Yes.
It's an old Costco building, basically, but yeah. And
25 vendors, horrified, thinking that these two are trying to sacrifice them.
And I'm pretty sure the security is already on our tail at this point, watching to make sure if we're doing anything.
To the point where people are whispering until we meet this one lone vendor in this, little...
the back corner,
shack.
random corner.
And then Spirit goes, do you sell Flesh and Blood? He goes, hell yeah!
And he had our game.
No, but it wasn't just that. It was like he like did that thing where he like leans on in. He looks left to right, and he's like, yeah. And it's like, sweet. How much? He's like, what are you looking for? And we were like, flesh and blood. And he's like, no, but what are you looking for? And we were like, the starter decks if you can. And he's like, $10.99. Just like, he was like that monosyllabic type person, but...
One word sentences.
But he gave us quite the deal.
He did.
He gave us quite the deal. But on that journey there, we have nothing against people who collect anime figurines, but the anime figurines weren't the weirdest things we saw that day.
No, they were not. The weirdest thing we saw besides pillows with I guess they're called Japanese love pillows or whatever. They're like pillows with the cover being a scantily clad anime girl that you hug, I guess, at night because you're lonely. The weirdest thing we saw was it was the face of an anime girl that you must like, and below it were two bags that you could squeeze.
I call it the boob rack.
The boob rack. Literally, it was an anime girl's face, and underneath it were fake boobs that you could grab. And we're just looking at each other like, first of all, who buys this shit? Second of all, if you do you hide it as you walk out, or do you just walk out proudly?
But also the straight face. But it's one of those things where it's like, we have nothing. If you are straight out there, that's awesome. That's fine. We have nothing against the
You
heteros.
do you, man.
Waffles is heterosexual too, so you're not alone. But we were just, these things weren't tiny. These were humongous.
They were humongous fun bags. And we're just curious, like, honestly, like, we've never seen someone actually buy one. We've only seen them in stores, and people kind of, point at them and laugh, and it's just...
about the one customer that motorboated it to test it first.
Oh my
No,
God.
I didn't see that.
I forgot about... No,
I didn't see that.
So during the time, Waffles, we were looking at the...
You were traumatizing the poor petite woman asking for her flesh and blood.
I remember, because you were also looking for... Shadow, you were looking for D&D figures, and Waffles was looking through thing, and on the other side of the aisle was a thing, and I was showing Shadow, but then Shadow showed me someone was testing out the goods. Someone was... And it wasn't just one. They were going across the aisle.
Trying each...
And I just couldn't fucking believe it.
Why did you never tell me this?
Because we were worried you were going to do it next.
I would not.
I thought you knew.
I did not know.
He was just like... And he commented on everyone. He was like, too stiff.
As this person says, try before you buy.
That's true. But it was like watching Goldilocks, but not. And then he found one that was just right.
And the one he chose was obviously Nami.
It was Nami. Shadow and I remember the one he chose.
I can't believe you guys never told me this. I was just staring at D&D figurines behind you. Oh my goodness. No, but so usually when we go to places that are really busy, we usually like to play a game. Usually it's like count the colored hair, like people dye in their hair. How many people have different colored hair?
Oh,
and in Vegas one time we went to we got to in 2 days, we went to 320 in 2 days. Mostly because a Shadow was at a Supernatural convention where everyone had their hair dyed, but that was kind of a loophole. But Shadow. But me and Spirit alone this time going to Frankenstein's looking for cards. We decide that let's play a different game. Let's count the really overtly sexual things that we see and just laugh at it. Well, by the time we got down the figurine aisle...
No, it was a single aisle.
It was a single aisle.
Halfway.
So, halfway down the aisle, the figurine aisle, we were at 150.
No, we were at 300.
Were we? Well, we were really, really high. We were like, we can't keep count. We're too high.
We can't.
We're literally in the first aisle. And there's boobs everywhere. So let's just drop this game. We're just gonna drop this game.
We were surrounded. They were looking all at us.
Their eyes followed you wherever you moved.
Their nipples followed us everywhere.
Oh my god.
It's like one of those scary paintings that follows you with their eyes.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, we were at such a high number by halfway down the first aisle that we're like, okay, we can't. I'm sorry. Japan, you got some interesting stuff, but some of it's weird.
I mean, but we did. So for those that have a Frankenstein's near you, we don't know much about it, but if you have the chance, it is definitely worth it because they have a lot. They have like we're not sponsored by them. They have comics, manga, cosplay stuff. Even they sell old school toys. Like they have this.
Yeah, they have like retro toys like from the 70s and 80s and stuff.
So like whatever you're into, even card games, they probably have it.
And they're only open 3 days a week, and each booth is a separate basically owner. But yeah, it's a really fun place, and it's also fun to look around and see the interesting things you can find.
Yeah.
Creates a lot of fun stories.
You can make a lot of games and stories. Oh, but that's not the best part about the trip. So on the way home, we decide to get some drinks.
So we got some drinks from just a fast food place, just getting some drinks, and literally, I'm turning onto the freeway for a 2-hour drive home, and Spirit picks up his drink to take a sip.
I have a muscle spasm.
And he has a muscle spasm and decides to spill his large ass Diet Coke all over my seat.
It wasn't large, it was extra large.
Fine. You know what? Fine. Extra large Diet Coke all over my seat, and I'm wet.
Over your lap.
Hold on. No, it's mostly on my seat. And I'm just on the freeway, and I get a shock of cold, and I'm all wet, and I'm like, God damn it, I just passed the last store where I can get napkins. We're on the freeway, and I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, oh my God, there's nothing for me to do. I'm like trying to stand up while driving. It's not very safe. And finally, I'm just like, fuck it. I just sit down in it, and I'm like, this is very uncomfortable. Let's just try to see how much my pants can soak up. So I start swiggling my butt around, trying to soak up all the liquid, because it's just like a sponge, just trying to get rid of it all. And I did not have enough clothes, apparently, because there was still Coke everywhere. And then we decide that since it's a continuation of the Flush and Buzz story, we didn't get a certain deck, so we decided to stop by a local game store on the way home. I get out of the car and say, hey guys, are my pants dry yet? They look at me and they're like, you better stay in the car.
Yeah. So
Spirit, that's 2 things you spilled in the car.
Spirit has a record for spilling stuff, and it's not just drinks. I spill food. Just earlier today, I spilled all the Lorcana. Well, a section of Lorcana cards.
Basically, we have like a box full of Lorcana cards, and he picked up a section, and yep.
52 cards.
No, way more than 52.
Oh,
more like 200 card pickup.
Yeah.
And Waffles is nice enough to help him.
Yeah, but we were kind of like, after picking up.
No. What is with him spilling on his pants is a good question, but this time he spilled on my pants.
You gotta aim.
And here's the best part. Spirit has a very quirky personality where instead of feeling bad or saying I'm sorry, he smiles and laughs.
No,
So
that's not
someone
true.
gets hurt-
That's not true. I apologize, good sir. I apologize. No, I apologize, but if you're gonna throw me under the bus, I have the weird tendency when things get awkward, I kind of smile and laugh. It's this weird thing.
It's an awkward laugh.
It's like a defense mechanism. I can't explain.
He's Claire from Modern Family.
I had it since I was a kid.
And I just really wish you would have spilt it like one light earlier, so I could have pulled over and gotten some napkins.
Yeah, so when he did it, he was smiling and laughing.
But you have to laugh.
And I'm just like, at this point, just gotta soak up what I can.
But to be fair, now we can tell this story to everyone.
That's true. And you're no longer allowed drinks when we go there. On the way home from Vegas last time, I told him, you if you drink and spill on me on this 4-hour car ride home, I'm going to hit you.
Well, it's not just that. You said I'm kicking you out of the car and you're walking home.
Yep, leaving you in the desert.
Wouldn't make half a mile.
I wouldn't even make it half a foot.
Oh my gosh. It's just some fun things have happened to us, some weird things happen to us. We don't go a lot of places, but the places we do go are interesting.
I should come with the warning, yeah. I mean,
this fox will soak your pants. You should come with a warning. He's gonna spill on you.
I have a splash zone. But I think we should end it with a recent story to wrap it up.
Sure, why not?
But before we end it with our recent story, let's have the floor open. If you have any questions before our final story for Critter Chat, please, the floor is open.
The floor is yours.
It's a trip.
Do not laugh at him. He will soak his pants. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any questions pop up. So
well, give him a minute.
But I'm hungry.
Yeah,
Shocking. I know.
I know. Fat guy's talking about.
It's dinner time. It's 7 p.m.
We did dabble in MTG.
We did. Well, actually, we didn't dabble. We played it for many a year. basically, I actually met Spirit at a gathering of another friend where they were all playing MTG together. And basically, I came into the room. It's an old friend of mine, and they're all playing this card game. And I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "We're playing this game," and they teach me. By the way, when you first learn Magic and all the keywords, I was very confused for a long time. It's overwhelming. But once you get the hang of it, you're good. But me and Spirit have been friends ever since. But we played basically from, I want to say, like 2011 to 2018. And around 2018 is when they started Overload printing, like a new set every month, basically.
Oh, hold on. For kiwi birds, I think they're very cute. What about you, Waffles?
Do they look like kiwis? Then I have no idea what they look like.
Little brown birds.
Little brown birds?
Little brown fireballs.
Sure, they're cute.
Okay.
I don't know what they look like. I can't promise you anything. But okay, why he's looking up kiwi birds?
But to answer also another question, thank you. I'm glad you can color while we are entertaining you. I hope your art piece goes well. But continue your story. Sorry,
I forgot where I was at.
We were talking about MTG.
Oh yeah. So basically, brain is a little fried sometimes. No, but that's a kiwi bird. Yes, it's cute. I agreed. But. Yeah, we played from 2011 to 2018. Basically, around 2018, they started printing a set every month and having stuff you could only buy from the company itself. And basically, in order to keep up, you had to pay so much money to play that it wasn't fun anymore. It took the fun out. Basically, one of the most fun times in our lives was like spoiler season. Like every 4 months, there'd be a new set. It'd be fun to see every 4 months what new cards are there. Well, it turned out that you were in perpetual. Every day was spoiler season. There was always a new card out that you would have to either buy if you wanted to play at competitive level, or just even some of our friends went overload and bought cards and were like, we just can't play against you because your decks are way too powerful, because also as they printed more and more, they printed more powerful cards each time. So it just got ridiculous, so we stopped. And then basically we stopped playing card games for a while. We tried the Digimon game. It was fun. The mana system in that game is one of my favorites. But the game itself wasn't really for me. And then we tried Pokemon for a little bit. That was fun. We just built like two very casual decks that were fun. And then we went to...
And then for Magic, we had this like kind of mutual agreement where sometimes in a rare moon where there's like those pre-con commander decks,
yes,
we'll purchase them, but we don't deck tech them. We just play them out
of the box. For example, we're going to buy the Bloomburrow decks next weekend.
I mean, Bloomburrow is probably one of the sets, the recent Magic set with all the critters, that actually feels like Magic, just like the fun, where Magic just like felt always fun with this new thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, playing online will definitely save you some money as long as you don't have to pay for online cards, because sometimes Magic Online and other games like that will make you pay actual money. Absurd amounts of money for that.
And you know what's sad? The next day, they ban the card, then the card is priceless.
Yeah.
Or worthless. And you just wasted all that money.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, that's our Magic history. And then, like I said, we went to Digimon and Pokemon.
Well,
and then
Waffles, we technically met through Magic, you know.
I just said that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, we met through a mutual friend at his house, and we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah. That friend is now MIA. No idea where he's at. I think he's at home.
Probably.
Yeah. Knock on the door, though. He's like, go away. What'd we do, man?
I don't know.
So Cockatrice is completely free and it's third party, so I've been playing. Okay, well I've never heard of Cockatrice, so I'm gonna have to try that out if it's free, definitely.
But it kind of reminds me of for those who played Pixelborn, it's kind of
Lorcana.
sad.
Yeah, it's sad, it's gone. But we hope that means that Disney's actually working on a digital game for Lorcana. We're hoping it's like you pay to buy it, like a normal game, and all the cards are free.
Yeah, no
for example,
microtransactions.
we were gonna do the Vanguard game. However, every time a new expansion of cards came out, they wanted you to pay $20. And it was ridiculous. So we were just like, it's too much. We can't do it.
Yeah, like
we bought the base game just because we wanted to play the story and play with the cards they had. But there were certain expansions that I wanted to buy, but I'm just like, it's $20 for like,
I mean, the mechanics of Vanguard are
very fun, but it's just...
But Buddy Fight, I think, is way better. Shame Buddy Fight.
Yeah, we played Buddy Fight, but we had to proxy everything because we got to the game too late. It was already shut down.
All right, so I think
basically just tell the last story. Yeah.
Yep, the last story.
So basically, I don't know about you guys, but back in the day before 2020, COVID, I liked the soup plantation because it was soup, salad, pasta, ice cream, jello, baked potatoes, had anything and everything you could want. And Spirit and Shadow over here thought it was literally just soup. So I told them all throughout COVID, like, I wish you guys could have gone to the soup plantation. And we knew this one place that had a salad bar, but during COVID, buffet style stuff was banned, So finally it came back. However, they were hurting for business and were charging out the wazoo for salad bar. So we recently decided, we passed the Sizzler. And I'm like, wait, they used to have a salad bar that came with Jello and like tacos and stuff. And like, I'm like, why don't I call them and see if they actually have a salad bar? I called and they're like, yes, we do. Well, we turned around and hopped right over there.
We didn't.
We walk in.
We just didn't turn around. We Batman turned around.
Did. And we walk in, and I just told the manager, I'm gonna you pay before you go in. I'm like, I'm just gonna look at the salad bar. I look at it. The salad looks great, and then I turn around and I see ice cream, brownies, Jello, and then I see tacos, nachos with like sour cream, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, and then I see chicken and tater tots. And so I go up to the manager, and I'm like, so, is all that included in the salad bar? And he's like, yes. And I'm like, done. And so basically, the whole story is basically coming to our dessert. Sizzler is lame. Yeah, I know Vegas has good buffets, but out where we are, there are no buffets.
I mean, the Wicked Spoon in Las Vegas is pretty good, but...
You've never taken me.
You never...
Here's the problem that these two will not address. When Shadow finally gets to go to Vegas, because of work, he has to be responsible. Getting these two to go is like pulling teeth. When we finally,
well, sir,
okay, fine. When we finally go, we get there. What do these two want to do?
It's vacation. We gotta catch up.
I want food, but I don't want to walk. Let's go to the buffet. How far is it? It's 2 hotels down.
Why not? There's a perfectly good buffet in our hotel. Why walk?
Trying to get these two to try new things.
And by the way, the Wicked Spoon is not 2 hotels down.
Yeah,
it's all the way the strip down. By the way, where we're staying.
It's like, but the buffet we've tried repeatedly at the South Point, yum.
Basically, we're just suckers for Mexican food, and their Mexican food section's pretty good.
Yeah.
Their Italian section is Their Chinese section, apparently, according to Spirit's good. However, this trash panda is allergic to shellfish, and he will die if he eats it. And most Chinese food is cooked with oyster sauce or, fried in the same oil as shrimp. So therefore, I don't want to die, so I don't eat it. So basically, I stick to the Mexican food. And if we go to brunch, the omelet bar, that's always yummy.
Oh. Random segue because they know what the South Point is.
Mm-hmm.
That is I like to call it the cowboy hangout because every
there's
time
always cowboys.
There's cowboys and cowgirls there.
And Shadow can't find a single one for himself. It sucks.
But basically, going back to the story,
good Mexican restaurant.
So going back to the Sizzler story, basically, we eat, and Spirit and I go up for dessert, and I'm thinking about what I want, and then Spirit's like, there's brownies, and there's an ice cream machine, and I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty good, and then we see a thing full of strawberries, and I'm like, I like strawberries, and so Spirit puts down 2 brownies, and then he grabs the caramel sauce, and I'm like, dude, does caramel go with strawberries? I'm like, I know it goes with chocolate, but does it go with strawberries? He's like, we're about to find out. So I'm like, okay, I'll copy you. So I put 2 brownies on my plate, covered in caramel, just like a little drizzle. And then we put a lot of strawberries on top. And then we go to the ice cream machine and put some vanilla ice cream on top. And then basically, it was extremely refreshing. Those strawberries were good.
But we put ice cream,
vanilla ice cream,
another layer of caramel.
No, you did the first time. I did that the second time, not the first time. I didn't know you did that.
I did.
You did. But it was amazingly delicious, and we're like, we need to come up with a name for this.
And Shadow,
what'd you call it?
Shadow doesn't remember.
All right, he called it a critter treat.
A critter treat. And the only problem was they couldn't put a lid on it.
I know, right?
They couldn't.
And we couldn't take it to go and spill in the car.
And I promise everyone I didn't get any on Waffles' pants or my pants.
What about Shadow's pants?
Shadow was on the other end of the booth.
Yes, and when they came back, Shadow looked at them when he was eating his Caesar salad like, what the hell is that?
It's a critter treat, and it's delicious. Strawberries, chocolate, caramel, and vanilla ice cream.
Plates everywhere. ice cream everywhere.
Hey, but we cleaned up after ourselves. We're not one of those teenagers we ranted about at the beginning.
Nope.
Our
We spill on the
was
table, we
spotless.
wipe it up.
And if we spill, it's on my pants.
Or my shirt.
Or your shirt. Or pants.
Because, it can't land on your pants if your belly's in the way. Just saying.
Because, the table will be absolutely clean and we'll be absolutely filthy.
Everyone deserves a critter treat. We should all get some.
We should all get critter treats.
Well-
Responding back to one of the persons, because Shadow's finally catching up with the chat. Yes, the rodeos at South Point, they're great, but the problem is Waffle is allergic to horses. So
Yes, and we told that story last time.
So when Shadow wants to go see one, he has to make sure to bring a second pair of clothes and bathe, because apparently his allergy is so severe. If Shadow comes in with any horsehair,
No.
on him,
Oh, yeah, I'll start.
it will cause
Yeah.
an allergic reaction.
Yep, I'll be itching. I can't breathe. My nose, my eyes, and my mouth are all itching to a degree where I want to die.
Horses, majestic, murderous animals.
Same with cats. I'm allergic to all animals, even dogs. But for a dog, I will sacrifice, and I will pet and hug one,
You will
and I will wash
sacrifice
up
yourself
afterwards.
For the greater
I
good.
will do a birdie bath in the sink afterwards.
Yes, but it makes trying to meet cowgirls and cowboys a lot harder.
Yes, for those that are curious, Shadow is bi, so he likes them both.
Yeah, where my Chippendales at?
All right. Well, I think all this talk of food is making this one hungry.
I think, when fat guys are hungry and
You're
gotta
always
eat,
hungry.
but like we tell you, we could eat.
I could always eat.
We can always
But this
eat.
time I actually need to eat. I'm
We
actually
need to
hungry.
eat. We
So-
need sustenance.
We need sustenance, and we want to thank everyone who's been communicating with us through the chat. Honestly, that's funny.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not going to direct you to Frank and Sons unless you want those giant anime gazungas.
But
They are on sale after you motorboat them.
after you motorboat them, they're yours.
You gotta try them.
But basically, we really appreciate you guys communicating with us
Yeah.
because we try to stream every Saturday night, and sometimes people communicate with us. But this is the first time I feel like we've had a lot of you really talk to us, and we really appreciate it. We have fun chatting with you guys. And normally, just let you know, we do play games. We sometimes do this critter chat. However, will they be 50% off if they are pre-motorboated? God, I hope so. But if they're used, I hope they're half off. But yeah, we really appreciate you guys chatting with us, and we hope you guys will continue to support us. And we're here next Saturday, probably around the same
And-
time, 6 p.m. If
Shadow
you want to join
works.
us, Shadow will work next weekend, so just be me and
So
Spirit.
it has to be either early. We'll have to do an earlier one on Friday for Shadow.
But we are very glad and grateful we can share these stories and you find them entertaining, because this is just the tip of the iceberg. We have
We have lots of stories lined up, but we won't do critter chat every week. It'll
No.
probably be spaced
The
out.
Critter Chat will be that rare occasion, but
Yeah.
we love interacting with you guys and hearing
Yes.
from you guys.
And thank you very much. We had a great time tonight, honestly. And we will see everyone hopefully
Yes,
next week.
Hopefully, we're in Vegas at the end of the year or next year, so we'll have to keep people posted.
And fear not, the majority of the live streams we post, we will post them on our YouTube.
Correct.
So if you
Like
miss them,
we've only not posted one, and that's the one that expired today.
yeah.
So
That was kind of like a practice video.
yeah. So honestly, streams we normally post on our YouTube channel. Shockingly, we're called the Yupkeep. But
Yeah.
if you want to look at our
Surprise.
videos, we have lots of videos of us playing games, and if you like watching gameplay, come join our channel.
And just hanging out, and just if you like just belly jiggling laughter, we are here for that.
What's those two for? Shadow wants a good pair of man picks to motorboat.
But yeah,
You're gonna have you have to go to that cellar. I wonder if it's like, do you have any in the back, or am I just gonna be surrounded by all these?
Where's Ichigo Goku at? Come on.
all right. Well, thank you everyone once again. We are the Upkeep. I'm Waffles, together with
Spirit.
and
Why am I still here? Shadow?
I don't know. You're driving us to dinner. We're the professional non-professionals, right? Spirit.
Yeah. Yes, we are.
That is our quote, or was it saying?
our
Phrase? Our catchphrase. Jeez. Okay. Well, I think my brain's fried, and we are out of here.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye bye. Bye bye.